Hey people, back with another video. I've put on a different shirt so you can tell it's ever so slightly later in the day. This one we're still talking about the major pentatonic scale, but we're going to give you something just ever so slightly more exciting to do with it. We're going to learn to slide. So learning these patterns on the guitar, I think I was talking about piano players in the last video, is we're kind of doing it the other way. Quite often with piano, you are learning the theory of the note of what you're doing. With guitar, we can learn these patterns and then we can learn the musical effect of what we're playing as we go along. We're just going to get this little pattern under our fingers and we're going to begin to connect our mind, our thoughts, our whatever sort of musical vision we have to what our fingers are doing as we go along. And I think that's kind of cool because it means you start with the physical connection and you start to find something musical in it as you go along. It already sounds kind of musical to me anyway. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So the other cool thing is, and thing to be thankful for, that we're not playing piano, is that we're touching the note at all times with a guitar. We're going to talk about this quite a bit. So our left hand in particular is in constant contact with this string. And that means we can do so much. We can kind of wiggle it, we can bend it, and we can slide, and that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so I'm just behind fret 2, or somewhere in the middle there, but maybe a little closer to fret 2 than 1. And I'm going to land just behind fret 5, somewhere in the middle, but maybe a touch closer to the 5th fret than the 4th. I'm holding down enough so it keeps going, because if I let off the pressure, it's going to kind of die on the way, which is another effect in itself. But just for today, we would just want to keep that pressure down, keep that note going, and make sure we land on fret 5 at the end, or just behind it. Okay, so that's a slide. If you press too hard, you're probably going to hurt your finger. If you don't press enough, it's going to die on the way. We could do that on every string if we wanted to. We could go from 2 to 4. I'm going to go through my scale. 2 to 5. And 2 to 5 again. And that will be on the 3rd string, 2nd, and then 1st, respectively. So we're starting to breathe a little bit of life into these scale notes. And that's hopefully going to teach us to make something that sounds a bit more musical as we go. Okay, so we can now slide. You can play around with that with both of the scales we've done. With the G one, it's a little bit trickier because you're starting with an open note. So it's maybe the A is going to favour this technique. And you could also play around with sliding backwards if you want to. There's a lot of music in these simple things, to me. You don't have to go crazy to learn something that sounds pretty good. So we'll try and embellish, I think, on our simple little A blues solo maybe next time, and we'll see if we can fit this slide in somewhere along the way. It's not always going to be a perfectly linear thing. We've got to kind of take little tangents, but hopefully we can pick up on any little strands that we leave later on as we kind of weave our way through all this guitar stuff. Thank you for that. Thanks for listening again. And thank you also, a big thank you to anybody who's subscribed, because, it makes me feel like it's a good idea to keep going and hopefully someone's finding it to be of use. So that's really nice. I'm just interested to see where it all takes me. So thanks again. Have a good day. Bye.